Hi, sixth grade. Today we're going to be exploring using the mathematical process of perspective to create a dream room. We were kind of working on this before we left school, and now I'm going to give you my own demonstration for how to create that perspective drawing from scratch, because up until now we've been kind of exploring where that perspective is in the rooms that we're in. But what if we're just making up something? This is how we're going to do it. Are you ready? So normally how we start this off is that I show you a one-point perspective drawing that I did of a room that I wanted to exist, and it was a bathroom that my husband and I were making. One of my prerequisites for moving in with him was that I had my own bathroom, so I did a sketch in one-point perspective of what I wanted it to look like, and I wish I had the drawing here and then the photographs of the construction, but they're all at school, and I would show you that part of making interior space is using perspective, and when we use that perspective we can create that three-dimensional looking space. And we eventually built that room, and so that was my dream room. I wanted it to have mural paintings and all kinds of like rainbow underwater sort of themes. I wish I had all that stuff with me to walk you through that, because I feel like it's a kind of fun way of coming up with an ideal room or a dream room, and then starting with that sketch. I mean, we have the idea, then we make the sketch, then we build the thing. But we don't have that part of it right here, so I'm just going to show you the basic mechanics of making a one-point perspective room.
Well, I don't really have any dream room. I just have the living room full of trains, which it really is full of trains. I don't really have a dream room.
If you have an existing room that you want to draw, that's okay too.
Okay, so I'm going to draw.
Alright, well hold on a second. First what we need is a pencil, an eraser of some sort, and a ruler or a straight edge. And this is how we begin. Alright, the first thing we're going to need to draw is the back wall. And we're going to make a rectangle. I'm going to draw kind of dark with my lines, just so you can see what I'm doing. But you should start off kind of lightly. A lot of times people who love to draw and have been sort of doing the examining of perspective in their drawings already can find doing it this way a little bit more challenging, where people who don't really like to draw can find it comforting, because you're really told where things are supposed to go.
But we're going to have different drawings because we're both drawing our different dream rooms.
That's true.
So I'm making the walls of the living room because I'm going to draw the living room full of trains, because that's my only dream room.
The next thing we're going to do is we're going to choose where a vanishing point is going to be. We know that the vanishing point is the imaginary space off in the distance where all the lines come together and converge. And so because we're creating this room from scratch, the vanishing point is up to us. We're establishing where it is. So I'm just going to put mine right here. So that would indicate where the person is looking into the room.
I'm making my dream room.
Okay, I'm going to need that ruler, hon. Okay.
Okay, and then I know the living room has that light that I used to think was a booby.
Okay, so you want to take this dot, our vanishing point, and line it up with your ruler and the corner. So I'm lining this up to there. now that's one line of the floor. I'm going to do this on the other side too. I'm lining up the vanishing point with the floor, the corner, rather, to make the floor. So here now is our floor. And to make the ceiling, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm lining up the vanishing point with the corner. And there you have it. That's the basis of our room. And from here on out, anything that we put in there is going to follow a formula. The lines are either going to be straight up and down parallel to this vertical line on the wall, straight across horizontally to the line on the floor, or going to the vanishing point. So all of our lines are going to go in one of three directions. Okay, so anything that I draw in there, say I want to put a bed in, I'm going to start by drawing one side of the object. And then, just like with our letters, I'm going to make a little point wherever the line changes. Remember, we did really well with their cubes. Think of all the furniture and things you put in the room as just variations of like letters, like the shapes are. We did well with their cubes, so we're doing the same thing. We're connecting this point back to the vanishing point, this point back to the vanishing point, this point back to the vanishing point, and not that one because it crosses into the object, remember? And then we need a parallel for however long we want that bed to be. It couldn't be this long because then it would be going off of the wall, unless we wanted the bed to be coming off of the wall. But there's the corner right there. And then we line this up parallel. And now we can use our eraser. So think in terms of anything you put into the room as being very much like the cubes we did or the letters. And you all did such a fantastic job with those. It's just kind of shifting your mind to making furniture be shapes, geometric shapes like that.
So, because that's my dream room, there's that light, and then there's me, and then I got a new Lego high-speed train. That's the passenger train I want for Christmas next year, and that's the box that I opened up and I built it. It's going around the tracks.
Looks like you used the breaking humans down into shapes that we did yesterday for the 5th grade, huh? Right here with the two separate parts of the arm. Put a bedspread on it. Or maybe you want a canopy bed. And the same thing, our lines are straight up and down, parallel to the wall, horizontally parallel to the floor, or going to the vanishing point. So if I wanted to make a canopy bed. By the way, the room that you draw does not have to be a bedroom. It could be a bathroom, a greenhouse, a tree house. A room I wish I had right now is a home gym. Okay, if we put a carpet on the floor, say a rug, is going to be one side of it parallel to here, one side of it parallel horizontal again to the floor line, and then the sides are going to go back and forth to the vanishing point. And this is going to be true on the walls too. If we did a window, the sides are going to be straight up and down parallel to the wall, but the horizontals on our side walls are going to go to the vanishing point. And this is going to be true of posters, doorways, anything that's on these walls. So say a doorway over here.
I know there's
like that.
There's like windows
Another
in
room
the back
back
of
here.
our house.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, in the living room. Then there's that little check thing that I have that tells me what temperature it is. I have that stuck on there.
A thermostat. So...
And then there's like another window right here. You see how I'm trying to put stuff on the back of things?
Mm-hmm. That's right. Having overlapping is going to be important, Tavish. So I start off like with a table, a little tea stand. You draw one side of it, and then you treat it like it was a letter going back to the vanishing point. If you had floorboards on the floor, all of them are going to go back and forth to the vanishing point, and on this side over here. All you have to keep in mind is that your lines are going to go either parallel to the side, parallel to the floor, or back to the vanishing point. If I wanted to draw some stairs going into this window space, you draw the riser and the tread, riser and tread, riser and tread, riser and tread, just like you would one view of them. And then all of our points are going to go back
Your
to
drawing
the
is better
vanishing point.
than mine.
I have 35 more years experience doing this than you. And I don't think there's such thing as a better drawing than another drawing. It's only comparing ourselves to the work we did yesterday. And that's the truth. You should all only compare the work that you do to other work that you did, not other people's work. It's kind of a fruitless exercise. When you compare yourself to people, you either feel that your work isn't as good as theirs, or you feel like your work is better than theirs. It's either pride or shame. There's kind of no point in it. So each one of those parts, this is called the riser of stairs, and this is called the tread. And on each one of these, I make a little point, which I connect back to the vanishing point. This is the same if you wanted to make a bookshelf on the side. Anything on the back wall that's just on the back wall, say you did a big flat screen TV or something to that effect, you would just see it, one side of it, because you're looking straight at it.
Okay, I'm in my conductor's suit. See?
That's great, honey. If you want to do anything that's round, say that I wanted to turn, say I wanted to do like a round carpet, I would start off with the square of it and then kind of just cut off the corners. Same thing with this table. I had already started off with the square, and then if I cut off the corners, I'm going to have an ellipses that is the right angle that I wanted. Like last week when I was drawing the flower pots outside.
I need blue because look how to make my conductor's suit blue.
It's nice, honey. Good seersucker. Okay.
And I'm gonna need red and yellow sort of for my.
Maybe I want to have an opening in the ceiling. And a fireman's pole coming down. Oh, it's a little too thick. There we go. Oops, that's why we have our eraser. So anything that we add to this is still going to stay in the perspective. Here's the formula that I use. And you don't have to use the markers at this point, but I just want to show you all the different ways the lines can go. If something is on the side walls and it's the side of it, so the straight up and down, that is going to be parallel to this original line of the back wall. So anything on our side walls that's going to be up and down is going to be straight up and down parallel to that. Anything on the side walls that normally would be a horizontal, like if we were standing right here looking straight at it, and normally it would be what we say is a horizontal line. Can I use that blue, please? Is going to be going to the vanishing point. So really anything. If we were drawing, if this was a window and this was, you know, into another room.
Why is there a window on the floor?
Well, it's not on the floor.
Oh, you're drawing it upside down.
So out here, say this was, you know, a little seascape, and we wanted to draw a picnic table out here. The lines that would be horizontal are going to go to the vanishing point. Let's use our ruler.
You're just drawing it your way. I'm looking at it a different way, so I'm not really.
So say that there was something out here, it's like a shore, and we wanted to do a little, one of those old-timey beach changing booths. These lines that would be horizontal are going to be going back to the vanishing point. Over here, this is kind of getting into some 2-point.
I'm drawing the outside through the window.
Now 7th grade is going to be working off of 2-point this week, if you want to watch that video as well. But again, the lines that would be horizontal on the side are going to the vanishing point, and the lines that would be straight up and down are going to be going to that. Alright, and then on the floor, any lines that are straight across, and if you're looking at them, they are the horizontal lines. Those lines are going to be parallel to the floor. All of these guys here. So forth. Anything on the floor. And then the lines that we're looking down at that would be like the side, they're going away from us. They're all going to be going to the vanishing point. So you certainly don't have, like, I'm not asking you to color code your image, but sometimes I find that this formula helps when you're drawing things, just to say, okay, the lines are going in one of 3 directions. They're either parallel to the side of the wall, they're parallel to the floor, or they're going to the vanishing point. And so you can just think of things that are along the walls as horizontal things go to the vanishing point, and the straight up and down lines are parallel to that side. And things on the floor, the lines going away from us are going to the vanishing point, and the lines that are horizontal are going to remain horizontally parallel to that bottom layer. after you've played around with this and you've added all the things that you'd like, you can go over the whole thing in a marker or a Sharpie if you'd like to. We're going to look at coloring them next week, so just play around with the perspective. And sometimes it takes a while. It is one of the drawing things that's a little bit like riding a bike. Once you know how to do it, you nail it, and then it's just kind of improving. And then next year we'll be working with 2-point perspective. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, have fun doing this and playing around. And if any part of my video was confusing at all, there's so many draw a room in 1-point perspective YouTube videos. I mean, there's so many of them. So have fun with it. Put whatever you'd like into your dream room, and send me any pictures if you're struggling or need a little bit more guidance on this.